Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is John, and this is Addicted to Fishing. And today, we're going to talk about how I store soft plastics. I got a request for this in one of the comments here, and then I had this on my radar. I had gotten some messages in a couple other places. So I just grabbed a few things. I'm going to have to kind of turn the phone to kind of show you what I'm doing here at home. I'll cover that box. I'll kind of go in some details. But as you can see, just from the two that I held up, I like to store my soft plastics in the original bags. Couple different reasons why. One, like on these Spark Shads, it keeps them nice and straight. Number two, if I was out fishing with this, I wouldn't throw the container away, and I could come home and I'd look on the back there, and I know I need a Spark Shad and the color Real. And on the front it tells me it's a 4-inch. It also tells you here it's a 4-inch as well. Or if I ran out of these, I could quickly know that I need the NetBait, Little Spanky, and Pearl. More importantly, if you store any you don't have to store your baits in the bags. But if you're not going to store something in a bag, stay away from Elastec or anything similar to that. These bags are designed to keep these baits from interacting with the plastic. Years ago, I'm trying to think, I think it was Berkley or somebody, they had a 3-time worm. I think I don't have any of those left anymore. Yeah, I think it was Berkley. And I actually put them in a couple in a regular old 3700 series box, and they melted to the plastic of the box. Well, I've got the box out. This is a great option. This one just happens to have some wiggle warts in it. But these boxes, you can use them, and the little dividers will pull out. You can lay your baits in them, or you can put them in a bag and then store them in here. That works perfectly. I'll cover some different types of bags that I use. A little bit overkill because you don't need a waterproof seal, but they do make the 3700 with the 3 latch and a waterproof seal. Same thing, you can pull the different dividers out. It works perfectly. For the most part at home, what I do is I store them in this type of box. I've got several of them, but I can label that box large swim baits. These are just Sterilite bins, and store them in here. You can see my Spark Shads, Grass Pig, different swim bait, a bunch of different, they're all the same color. I think they're a 6-inch Kitech, and it's just one big bag with a bunch of smaller bags in it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that now because I'll cover I'll explain that to you here in a minute why I do that. But this is the bulk way I store at home. What's great is I've been out on a day fishing, or I'm going somewhere and I need my large swim baits. I'm going striper fishing. I know I need large swim baits. I can grab this whole tote, or I can open it up and, oh, I need some 4-inch Hi-U Spark Shads. Boom, got them. Any particular bait, I pretty much got them labeled and got them in their own different box. And I'll show the camera here in a minute. You want to go very inexpensive, permanent marker, regular old sandwich bags. These just happen to be the Preston seals. You can get the slider styles. You can get any of them. You can go to the dollar store and get them. You can go to Walmart and get a couple of different sizes of these. Those work perfect. You want to get into like a big bag, big, pretty much anything that you can find will work. I'm gonna show you a couple little other ways that if I'm just carrying a couple things. These are out of the bait binders. I still have a bunch of lizards in a bait binder. When I was talking about that swim bait. You can get you a big giant bag and you can keep a bunch of different baits in it. This is good if I'm going somewhere and say I'm going out on a buddy's boat and I want to have very limited different baits. I can load them up in here. I can put 7 or 8 different kinds of different baits in here and I'm set. But that's pretty much it for the bags. Real cut and dry, real simple. They got 2 different styles. This is what they call the Okeechobee Fats. They're all the same except for here on the front and kind of the color. This one has a little spot you can put your pliers into. This one, I liked it because it has the little Velcro strap to help hold in my pliers. It's got a handle on it. If I'm just going around, I want to carry a few things. It has a mesh zipper compartment and it has these bait binders. I don't take the baits out and throw them in there. I just basically unzip that, take my soft plastic, throw it in. Up here I put my terminal tackle, maybe put some scissors. I can put terminal tackle in any of these as well because I keep all my terminal tackle in little plastic bags as well. But these work out great if you're just going to go walk around. Say you're sight fishing, you're throwing nothing but lizards. You can load this up with lizards, some hooks, some weights, and you're set and you're ready to go. If you want to put in a little backup spool of line, you know, your favorite pair of clips, so you can cut your line. You need a pair of pliers. This is just a small pair that I use here. Put you a pair of needle nose in there. You're set to go. As you can see in my backpack wants to grab onto the bucket. I keep all of my soft plastics up here at the top, and they are all in the original package. I know exactly what I have. Almost everything is labeled. Most everything is in its original bag. I do have close to, at least 40 years worth of soft plastics. And some of those I used to store not in the original package. So some of them, I don't know who the manufacturer is if it's not in the print of the mold, or I've just forgotten. Colors, sometimes those are as good a guess as any. And that's kind of why I went away from that too. I found out that it dries out my baits really quick. That's one of the things that led me to using scent. I used to just use a plain mineral oil, like a food grade mineral oil back in the day. Kept your baits nice and moist, kept them fresh, kept them soft. That worked great. One day I happened to not have any, and I had some worms that were losing a little bit of that freshness. And a buddy of mine gave me some scent, and I used that bait the next time, and I felt like I got a ton more bites. Plus, if you get some baits and they have that plastic smell to them, it completely eliminates that with your juice. Kind of walk you here. You can see I use these totes for everything. This one's labeled tubes, old school plastics. These are some baits that are from the 70s, 80s, maybe some 90s. I'm going to say from the 70s up in here. Most of these are still fresh and can be used just like the day I bought them. I do maintain them. I do keep, some kind of worm oil on them to keep them moist. Down at the bottom in that big tote's all my finesse stuff. I won't talk about these hard boxes. And we get over here, there's a whole bunch more. I got one all the way on the bottom. That's just miscellaneous tackle. It does have some soft plastics in it. Curly tails, lizards. You can see I throw a plastic worm a lot, a couple boxes with worms. Again, there's some worms that are in here, at least from the early 80s. Crawls, the regular smaller paddle tail swim baits, chatterbait trailers. This one is not whole saws. This has just got a hodgepodge of stuff in it. You can see I don't just use it. These boxes for my soft plastics, I use this. This is where I had the mess that I showed you late season. I thrown them all in here. There's some spinner baits, there's some jigs, there's some terminal tackle in there. All of my terminal tackle I keep in boxes like this. I'm going to kind of go over how I'm storing my terminal tackle. I didn't like that Plano jig box, so right now all of my chatterbaits are in here. This is just a Plano box. It has no divider in it, so they're just thrown in there. I'm going to figure out something that I want to do with that. All the rest of the boxes are all full of baits that I'm not carrying with me. Old FLW spinnerbait box. That's a great box. I have some smaller spinnerbait boxes. You know, you can go to Harbor Freight and get these kind of boxes. This one I've cut out all the dividers. This one's still sealed, has all the dividers in it. I mean, there's just a plethora of different ways that you can store your soft plastic. These are my boxes for my scent to marinate in. And I believe that's pretty much it. I mean, there's plenty more back here in this room. Is all my lure making supplies, but over on that shelf there's more of those Sterilite totes with reels and lake maps. Yeah, back in the day we didn't have GPS on our Humminbird. You know, our depth finder was just pretty much like a 2D at best. So you had to actually have a map. Those maps are gold. It's got there's lakes from all over the country. When me and my dad used to travel, and it's got some great waypoints and stuff in it. But anyway, guys, again, that's how I'm storing all my soft plastics. Again, you know, if I was going out today and I knew I needed tubes, I can quickly run in here, and I know that box right there is full of tubes. I can grab that whole box if I want to. I can reach in there. I know the color on some of them. Tubes are one of those baits that I've been fishing since the 80s. And some of them don't have the color on it. But most of those I can't buy anymore. But a lot of the new stuff, it's in its original package, so I know exactly what I have. Again, if I had to stress keeping things in the original package, for me, it's one, I know the color, I know who made it, I know the size, so when I go to buy more, I know exactly what it is. Other than that, if I was not going to do that and did not care, the things that I would keep in the original package is anything that's made of a TPE or a Lastec, any that's stretchy. I keep them in the original package that they come from. This package is made to not react with these baits. This one, the baits just kind of moved around. But like my swim baits, my paddle tails, I love keeping them in this. I can open this up quick. Let's see if I've got well, this one is open. This is Berkley Power Bait Stingers. This package is opened. I can open it. Yeah, it's not completely open. I just opened the one side. And pop these staples out. That's just for shipping and storing on the shelf. You don't need that here. Pop them staples out of it. And it's not good to change. Let me throw these away before I end up with my dog eating them. But again, this is a great chatterbait trailer. But I want these baits to stay straight. So they're in here, protected in the original package. If I take one out and I use it and I didn't tear it up, I can quickly bring it back, throw it back in the package, close it up, and it's just like it was new. Again, for me, another bonus for this is if I was using these out on the water and I got down to just one and I needed more, right here it tells me. It's a 4.25 inch and it's called Sight Flash. So I know the color that I'm getting. On a lot of these colors, they're so similar. but yet different. If you're, it's all about confidence, right? So you may find two different kinds of purple with a little bit different flake in them, and you catch more on one than the other one, even though they look similar. Your confidence is going to draw to that one. And that's just how that works. I'm confident in things like, you got this they call pearl, and this they call sight flash. Let me see if I can find. And of course, any other time I could reach right in here and it'd be right there on top and I could grab it. Okay, and Yamamoto calls this sight flash. You can see why it's called sight flash. It has this more translucent belly with the white back. Same thing here. These two are probably identical, so I wouldn't have any problem identifying that color. I know there's a lot of them. I know the colors just by looking at them. I won't even need the package. But again, I like to keep all of my stuff in the original package. Guys, I'm even switching over to all my hooks, sinkers, and things of that nature. I'm leaving them in the original package. I can open up my tackle bag here. Just a couple things real quick. If I'm going out and I run low on these, I know this is a 1/4 ounce 3/0 hook. If I'm using snaps, I know I got a size 1. Just a straight hook. I know I've got this is a 3/0, my 1/8 ounce. If I'm using little swivels, or these are little barrel swivels. They're right in the original package. I know this is, these are ball bearing as well. VMC, it tells me the size, it tells me everything. My tush, got it right on there what size it is. So I know one, I'm picking it up, is that one that I'm going to throw on light spinning tackle because it's the finesse tush, or is it one that I need to throw on the bait caster because it's the 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, whatever. I know all that as soon as I pick it up. But anyway, guys, I hope that answers some questions. I hope that might give you some ideas. Again, you can use pretty much any box that you want. These Sterilite totes are they were really cheap at one point. I think they're getting a little pricier now, but they're still relatively expensive. These boxes, you can find, this one happens to be a Bass Pro, but it's a Plano 3700 series box. You can use these. You can use this one in a 3600. You can use any of these types. You can lay your worms in them. The only thing I recommend is if you're using these and you're laying your worms in them, you'll need to hit them pretty regularly with some kind of either scent or some kind of worm oil, mineral oil, things of that nature to keep them moist because they do dry out, especially if you're in a boat. I probably won't ever store soft plastics or carry soft plastics in these now that I've gone to these like bigger bags. There's several of them out there on the market. There's the money bags. Bunch of different companies make them where they got the zipper. They work great. The new Plano ones work great. You can store a lot of soft plastics in it. If you got the big money type bag, and I don't have any of those, but if you got one and you just want to designate that to because you really use, and I use a ton of these sight flash Yamamoto baits. You can either leave them in this package, you could dump them all in there, squirt a little bit of scent on them, seal it up, and write on there exactly what it is. Just do what works for you. I'm showing you what has worked for me and the way I do it. This system works perfectly for me. I've done it several different types of ways over the years. I think even if I'm going to, if I bought a boat, I'm going to use these Sterilite totes for the most part. You know, I would try not to carry a ton of tackle anyway, just extra weight on the boat. You know, if I'm going out and I'm smallmouth fishing, I'm gonna carry my smallmouth baits. I might at that point, if I buy a boat, I might invest in some really nice stowaway type bags that have like a real nice zipper system to them, and I can load them down with. You know, I would just still use these individual packs and throw them in and call it a day. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what else you'd like to see. I'm trying to keep up on these videos. Um, we'll see you in the next one. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. You guys are helping me out a lot. I'm up to almost 200 subscribers. You know, I might try to hit some different tiers. Maybe when I get to 500 subscribers, maybe I'll put together a Z-Man package and mail it out. Again, just to hit on this, I am not affiliated with any of these companies in any way. Plano just happens to be the preferred box that I like. Even the knockoff brands are more than likely just a Plano. Sterilite doesn't sponsor me and send me these boxes. Everything I buy with my own money. I just give you an honest review on something. If I'm finding something that I really, really like, I'm going to tell you about it. If I find something like in the Whopper Plopper Buzzbait box, I'm going to tell you, they're straight garbage and not waste your money. But anyway, guys, hit that like, share, comment, and we'll see you in the next one.